Wine boy.
Wine boy. Oh, hey, man.
Oh, hey, man.
Here was our decoy intro.
Here we are again, man. Yes, decoy intro.
Doing surprisingly another wine episode.
It fit with the scenario.
It worked with the episode. Obviously, we're doing Rick and Morty episode 2.
Episode 2, season 5.
5. And it has to do with decoys. And
decoys are decoys.
I knew this wine existed, and so I chose it. I almost went with the cab, and then I briefly considered buying both of them, and being like, aha, this one was just a decoy. We were actually drinking this one the whole time. But it's like $17 a bottle.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, is not bad.
No, it's not bad.
Especially when you consider that we usually spend that on some beers.
Beers, anyway, yeah.
So, it's not like it's a hefty price to pay. But, yeah, I went with the Pinot.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty good Pinot.
It was very good. Very smooth. Jammy.
Yeah.
I like it. It's nice. Doesn't
not
seem like
nearly as dry as the wine we did last week.
Yes, very true. Yes. Yeah, not as
Actually,
tannic.
I like this quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's really mellow. Kind of nice, light.
13.9%.
Yeah.
So good
Some
wine number.
Yeah. I mean, obviously with wines, like 13.9, 14 is... I mean, we're starting to get up there.
Mm-hmm.
15 is usually considered high.
Yeah.
And then anything over 15, like, that's when you're getting, like... That's like getting over 10% for a beer.
Yeah.
That's when you're getting really interesting stuff. That's just gonna knock you out with one bottle.
Mm-hmm.
This will not knock you out with one bottle unless you know, chugging it by yourself. So, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's very good. Very tasty. Get a very nice bouquet.
Nice bouquet.
Yes, thanks. I like that word.
Bouquet.
Bouquet.
Bouquet. Yeah. Unlike the wine we did last week, which was very, like, dark fruit, heavy flavors, very dry and tannic.
Very oaky.
Yeah, very oaky. Mm-hmm. This is like almost a complete opposite. Not totally, but, you know, if you tried the two back to back, this one definitely would feel like a lot more feathery, deep tea.
Is definitely a lot more tame than last week's.
Yeah.
Not that it's bad.
Fruit flavors in there.
Not that it's bad. It's just it's
on
the contrary. It's
I actually like this
good.
quite a bit better than the other wine that we did.
Same.
Yeah. All by Decoy out of California. Mm-hmm. You know, much like a lot of things. Especially in California. You can find a lot of California wines.
There's a lot of land in this state.
Yep.
It's used for a lot of different things.
A surprisingly large amount in the kind of upper Southern California part is heavily dedicated to vineyards. Yep. So we get a lot of wine. A lot of good wine, too.
Yeah.
A lot of very good wine.
Good and different wines. You get a little flavor of everything.
Yeah. But I also went with the Pinot because cabs can be kind of similar to red blends in a way. Pinots tend to be a little more different. I also think if we end up continuing this wine trend, we'll probably end up doing a cab sooner than another Pinot.
Yeah.
But
well, it depends on what next week's episode will be. Entail.
It didn't really give us a really heavy leaning. There's some like superhero chick,
Captain Planet.
Yeah, and obviously Morty is totally enamored with her.
Mm-hmm.
And Rick is just analyzing her speech patterns. And so she could use better catchphrases, that's for sure.
Yep. Yep.
But yeah, other than that, we don't really know a whole lot about next week's episode, and I'm totally fine with that. I'm okay with waiting until next week.
Diesel Weasel.
The Diesel Weasel spreading like acid rain or some
Acid
shit.
rain. Which was a big thing. Which was a thing in LA for a little bit.
Yeah. But anyways, before we talk about the episode, what would you rate this wine?
Ooh.
What did we give the last one? A 4?
I think we give it a 4.
Yeah. I like this one better.
I'll give it a 4.5.
Yeah, I'm right there. Might have to adjust our scale as we go more into wines.
Yeah.
Because this is more than half a point better than the last one.
Yeah, but
in my
like
opinion.
yeah, 4.5, mostly because $17.
Yeah. But I mean, $17 isn't really that much if you're looking for a
average. It's about average for a wine.
Yeah, like something in that. I'd say it's kind of like in that middle range.
I like our $8 and $9 wines.
Yeah, those are usually
like
quite nice.
Like the that squatty bottle that we keep getting. I can't remember what it's called.
The squatty bottle?
Yeah, the little cylindrical one, the black one.
The Kings of Prohibition?
That's the one, thank you.
Yeah.
I knew you would know it as soon as
Yeah. Squatty bottle. If you said the whiskey bottle looking one, I would have said it right away.
I should have thought of that, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Which, this is Rick and Morty. We might end up doing a whiskey at some point, too.
Yeah, I mean, that is very likely.
Yeah.
I mean,
and you'll never know how much of it we're actually drinking because you can't see shit in these cups.
True. Wine boy.
Wine boy. Delicious. Another.
Yes. Wonderful. What about you, man? What'd you rate the wine? You said 4.5, right?
I'd say it's a 4.5, and I'd bump the Estero down to like maybe a 3 or 3.5.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah.
Like generous 3.5, but probably closer to a 3.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah, like with the Estero, like it needs to be paired with something. I feel like it's not a very great on its own wine. With this, I mean, I'm enjoying this quite a bit much more.
Indeed.
On its own, as just this is nice. Look at that, little raspberry. I think. Yeah, it's a great wine. I haven't had the cab in a long time, so after drinking this one, I kind of want to revisit the cab.
maybe if there's another decoy episode.
Right? Which you never know. There totally could be.
I mean, there's already been more than one episode of Interstellar Cable.
Yeah, Interdimensional Cable. Which this episode totally had a lean into.
A wind wolf.
The wind wolf. I mean, first let's just mention Mr. Always Wants to Be Hunted. Actual name of the character. Which is just fantastic.
How long did you think that was going to be?
How long did you think we were going to lean in on this? Like, oh my god, I have so many questions. He looks like Mr. Poopy Butthole if he were fatter, sweatier, and
like half a foot shorter.
Not that much shorter, but Mr. Poopy Butthole also does have like a foot tall hat.
Yeah, true.
So, but apparently that's part of their physiology, actually.
Yeah.
As both his wife and his child have the hat. So. Yeah. Anyways, Mr. Always Wants to Be Hunted.
Always wants to be hunted.
It's just so dumb. Like, who comes up with that shit? That sounds like a Justin Roiland idea, if I had to guess.
If I had to peg anyone, it'd probably be him.
Yeah. But yeah, and then the message that the decoy family's been killed. And then we get the whole rabbit hole of decoy families and the as he puts it, the Asimov cascade. Which is great.
Yeah, like the whole thing. The whole thing is like eventually, like, and he mentions Highlander.
Yes.
And then nobody gets it. It's like,
yeah, like
really?
the only one.
1986? Like, the only one? Jeez, we gotta rent that movie. Like, Sean Connery plays a Spaniard.
But they don't do anything with
anything with the accent.
So good.
Well, he's a Scottish man. Like,
yeah.
there's very little he can do with his accent.
Okay, there's plenty of Scottish men that can do perfectly fine accents. And Ewan McGregor, David Tennant, Ewan. But this episode was great, and it had absolutely nothing to do with the overall arcing story that they kind of got going on. There's a lot of mention of, like, Clone Beth and, like, you know, Beth at home, like, Space Beth, and then the at-home Beth being like, oh, well, you know, now you know what it's like to walk a mile in our shoes, somebody else's shoes, not knowing if you're the real one or not. He does go through a lot of points to mention that they aren't clones, they're decoys. Which there's only like a few degrees of separation on that one.
Yeah.
And as the decoys are just more, I guess, controllable? I don't know. Which also doesn't prove to actually be true.
Analyze mode 80085.
Yeah, 80085. Which, if you didn't get that one, you did not play with the calculator much.
Or exactly. Or the other one was analyze mode 8 == capital D.
Really? I thought the codes would have been a lot funnier. Well, I wasn't planning on showing them off.
I like it. Oh, yeah, like, and Morty. Both the two Mortys mention different movies, but they both pertain to like what's going on here.
Yeah,
which is fantastic.
We get the first one where he's like, "Oh, so it's like a Westworld." Yeah, but don't fuck yourself.
Fuck yourself.
And then the second time he's like,
almost like Ex
an
Machina.
Yeah, but don't fuck yourself. Oh man. I just love the cascading, like, as in the Oswald's cascade, as they just continue to, like, at first you're not sure, alright, like, which family are we following is the actual real family. And then you realize that none of them are the real family,
No.
or possibly one of them could have been. But, you know, end of the episode, there's just one returning to Earth with Space Beth. And all of the other ones have completely murdered each other. Although, in the end, the only one that really survives is Glockenspiel Jerry.
Yes!
Which is probably one of my favorite post-credits scenes.
That had to do with Jerry? Besides the one where he feeds the chick his check to the wolf.
Even better than that. Actually, yeah, Jerry has a lot of actually good post-credit scenes. But Invisible Garbage Truck, hands down.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's up there, right there with Glockenspiel Jerry.
Glockenspiel Jerry.
Because it's just so dumb.
That were like, like when he closes the door, that was a reference to Alien 2. Aliens. Oh, God.
Yeah. A lot of good little bits in this episode. Like, if you kind of just watch this episode really quickly, there's a lot you'll miss. It's definitely a good one to rewatch.
There's, like, also, like, a somewhat multiplicity reference. Because, like, the farther down you get from a copy of a copy, like,
the shittier
it becomes. Which, like, in Multiplicity, if you've seen that one, like, he gets dumber as the clones make clones of themselves.
Yeah.
So...
Oh, man. That's actually one I didn't notice. So, that's a good one. The whole freaking, like, crazy, weird, hillbilly, fucked up, deranged family.
Like the Ed Gein Scarecrow family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Am I going to be pretty again, Dad?
Yes, darling. Very beautiful. Soon.
Yeah, he's got like a sized blade coming out of his arm.
Yeah.
For the glockenspiel, Rick shoots at a bird.
Yeah. It's like a cuckoo clock, and he uses it as a weapon.
It even makes the noise,
It
too.
does. It does. Oh, it's so good. It's so dumb. And I love every little bit of it.
It's so great. Every little bit of it is just... Every part of it is just so... Like, it just pays off. Every part. It's wonderful.
Yeah. It's definitely an episode worth watching multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
I love the whole, like... Oh, we did the right thing, hiding out as a family that's too cute to kill. They look
They're
like
all
freaking
Muppets.
They're very like Sesame Street.
This costume smells like ass. Fuck you, Summer.
Fuck you, Summer. Yeah, that Summer was right the whole time.
Yeah.
So, like...
They're all...
What if we're decoys?
I knew we were Colorado people. Which, like, begs the question is, like, how would all these families in all the different states, would they be the same? Or would they be a little different?
It's really hard to say. Because, honestly, what stops them from, like, running into each other at any point? Which is probably what started it off.
Yeah.
And you gotta imagine this is probably immediately after the whole Space Beth incident.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. It's I don't know. It's weird to think about. And I don't think you're supposed to think about it that much.
Yeah, if you start
kind of like all of this show.
Yeah.
Like it uses references and it has this storyline and it does all these things.
If you think about it too much,
nothing really totally means anything.
Yeah. If you think about it too much, the more ridiculous it becomes.
Yeah.
So
And
just let it have its whimsy.
Mm-hmm. I like the whole family that came to grips with the fact that they could be decoys and that they were going to be hunted down at any point, because anywhere that they would think to hide is where a decoy would think to look, because they're all the same.
Yep.
So, and then just moments later.
I like Jerry's idea for a bucket list thing now.
Seeing
a Major League Baseball game in every single stadium. Nope.
Nope.
Hey, next.
Yep. That'd be exactly what I'd say if you proposed that idea to me. No, let's go see a baseball game in every major league stadium. Nope. Not care enough for baseball for that.
Oh yeah, I totally would. I totally would see a baseball game in every stadium.
I could totally see you doing that.
Yep.
That sounds fun for you.
It does.
Yeah.
It does sound fun.
Just love the shutdown. Nope. What about you, Morty?
I wanted to start a relationship with one of the new girls in my New Mexico.
My weird New Mexico school.
Sounds romantic, Morty. Sorry. Sounds like it would have been a romantic story. Sorry, Morty.
Yep. Overall, I really like this episode.
Yes, like nothing really happened, but a lot happened.
But so much happened. It's like we could spend a lot of time like going over scene by scene, but after doing that last week, like going through the whole episode, I don't know. Maybe it was just because I was really tired, but it was kind of boring. At least for me. Just randomly remembering parts now is more fun for me.
Yeah. It's yeah. I mean, like we said, nothing really happened, but like a lot happened.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of creative ways that people died, and the fact that Jerry got so many kills right before he was gonna die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is kind of insane.
I still gotta love like that post-credit scene where Jerry puts on the varnish, which basically makes him immortal in a way. It's like he uses the varnish to get across the river, and that's his whole thing, is that he just wants to live. And then the beavers, he becomes a beaver dam, and then he gets picked up by, some evolutions of woodpeckers and dolphins.
Yeah.
And then after that, gets made into a mirror, and then cowboys.
Yeah,
burn
lizard people, cowboys.
Yeah.
And then there's.
And then he wakes up again, and he's on a cross.
He's on the cross. Right. Yeah, with some yellow Jesus alien.
Yeah. And so, Christianity? Again?
After
Cowboys? We've gone back around again? It's just...
It's so good. Jerry does have a lot of good ending credit scenes.
Yeah.
After credit scenes, the wolf one, the...
But yeah, Jerry and his invisible garbage truck is still one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one, just because of that last part, it's like cowboys. Wait, Christianity again? Oh, I love those lines. Yeah, and there's so many moments of God damn it, Jerry.
Yeah.
Like when he does lock them out of the escape elevator.
Escape elevator.
I'm just like,
There's
God damn it, Jerry.
he's still a Jerry, so I mean,
Yeah. I do gotta commend Chris Parnell for voice acting Jerry so well that just how whiny his voice is and how much you just hate the shit out of him. But it's so funny.
Yep.
The show's great.
It really is.
I really do enjoy the show. I like this episode a little bit better than the last one. I think it was just overall funnier.
Yeah. Mr. Nimbus.
Mr. Nimbus. Which I thought there were some great lines in that, and some, little snippets of character development.
Oh, yeah.
But overall, I just kind of liked the ridiculousness of this episode, and just how it keeps cascading into more and more decoys killing each other. Fucking great.
It's just wonderful.
It's just great.
That's all I got.
Yeah, I mean, there were definitely some more funny lines that I'm just not thinking of right now.
Yeah.
But, yeah, overall, great episode. Definitely looking forward to next week.
Oh, yeah.
We get to do 8 more of these. So.
We'll have to do an extra video. Not this week, but the next week.
Yes, Black Widow.
I'll have to do 3 videos that week.
Yeah, which is interesting because we barely get in the 2 that we're doing week to week. If we do 2 week to week.
Exactly.
Anyways, here's to you.
Here's to me.
Prince Relief for Shoulders B.
If by chance we disagree.
Then screw you.
Here's to me. I had a little bit too much. I'm not going to check that.
Yeah, no, same. And after even chugging the small amount that we had last week at the end, my stomach is just like, why the fuck did you do that? That was dumb.
That was a bad idea.
That was a bad idea. Why'd you do that? You're not going to feel great for the next, 3 or 4 minutes. And I didn't.
Cheers.
Cheers.